10 Essential Tips for Treadmill Safety. 101% accurate. If you started out using a treadmill in a proper gym, the gym instructor should have already told you these treadmill safety tips. If you are using a treadmill at home and don't frequent a gym, make sure you follow these treadmill safety tips and use the treadmill without being in any danger. Treadmills are very safe machines when used properly. There are some mistakes that new users often make that can result in injuries or pain. Here is the list of 10 treadmill safety tips. Treadmill safety tips. 1. Check your emergency shutdown button. Every good treadmill will have an emergency shutdown button. There are many reasons you may need to shut down the treadmill instantly. If something you're wearing gets stuck in the treadmill, is your pet dog or cat decides to jump onto the moving treadmill, maybe your kid jumps on with you, or someone may have fallen on the treadmill. Many owners don't know where the emergency shutdown button is until they need it. The last thing you want to be doing in an emergency is searching where the shutdown button is. Through the emergency shutdown button and also know all treadmill safety tips. Treadmill safety tips. 2. Don't wear anything that can get stuck on the treadmill. We know the biggest advantage of having a treadmill at home is that you can exercise and run wearing whatever you want, but you have to be cautious. Don't just start running in a robe or anything that has loose hanging parts, because there's a chance it might get stuck in the belt. Wear a loose t-shirt and some comfortable pants and you're good. Treadmill safety tips. 3. Never leave the belt running. Many new treadmill owners end up falling getting off a running treadmill. It is understandable why it happens. Suppose that you are running and someone knocks at the door or calls you. The default instinct of most people is just to get off the treadmill and answer the door or check the phone. You build up momentum as you run on the treadmill, and when you put a foot on the floor you will lose your balance. A child or a pet can also jump on the running treadmill while you are gone. Most treadmills have a pause option. Use it so when you return you can continue right from where you left off. So try to keep treadmill safety tips in mind. Treadmill safety tips. 4. Don't use your phone. Texting and running on a treadmill is dangerous. If you are on your phone, then it is easy to get distracted and put down your foot the wrong way and fall. Use the amount of your treadmill to use your phone while on the treadmill, or purchase a phone bracket. These keep your eyes ahead instead of down and help you run better while being entertained through your phone or your tablet. If you need to look something up or text someone, pauses the treadmill and gets off it. Treadmill safety tips. 5. Know your limits. A lot of running and exercise-related motivational articles will tell you to push yourself to your limit. This advice is good, except you need to know what is meant by your limit. Limit. The experts don't mean you should run as much as you can without collapsing. It means you should push yourself to the point where your body starts telling you that you have had enough. If you start having trouble breathing or if your feet are aching, then pushing yourself just means risking an injury. Here's a hint. If it takes you time to get your breath back and you feel disoriented after running, you may be pushing yourself too hard. If you have just started using a treadmill, you need to start slow. Your body will get used to running and allow you to run better as you keep using the treadmill. Don't expect to start achieving your running goal with your first run. Treadmill safety tips. 6. Look ahead. A lot of new runners end up focusing on their feet when running. This is a very easy way to disorient yourself and fall. It might seem like it makes sense to be looking at your feet, but it doesn't. Just because you won't run into anything ahead doesn't mean that you should stop looking ahead. Your body is used to, and designed for, walking and running as you look ahead. This tells your brain the direction in which you are running and helps you focus on running without feeling disoriented. Always look ahead and keep all treadmill safety tips while running. Treadmill safety tips. 7. Keep the speed low. The maximum speed on the treadmill is for the most experienced runners. You should start by focusing not on how fast you are running but how much you are running. For example, if the maximum speed is 12 miles per hour, then you should start much lower. Running at 6 miles per hour for 25 minutes is much better than running at 12 miles per hour for 5 minutes. Too much speed will result in you being less fit, as you will run out of breath much before your body runs out of the ability to run. New users of treadmills should start at the slowest possible speed and slowly increase the speed until they reach one they are comfortable with. Keep the speed low and keep all treadmill safety tips. Treadmill safety tips. 8. Don't use the handrails unless you need them. This might seem counterintuitive because the whole point of handrails is to provide treadmill safety tips, except they aren't meant to be used while running. Use the handrails to get on and off the treadmill safely. Use the handrails if you are working on recovery and need the support of a handrail to properly use the treadmill. Many people use the treadmill to push themselves further, which is wrong for many reasons. If you need to use the handrails to run at the current speed of the treadmill, it means that you have set the speed too high. Instead of using the handrails to run faster than you normally can, run how you normally do. Using the handrails results in fewer calories being burnt and fewer muscles being worked out. If you use handrails, the way your body reacts to you running completely changes. You will be putting pressure on the handrails and not giving your joints and muscles the exercise that they need. You are more likely to fall if you have grabbed onto the handrails. The main point is to keep all treadmill safety tips while running on a treadmill. Treadmill safety tips 9. Wear running shoes. There's a lot of misinformation about running on the internet. Many people claim that running barefoot is the right choice. The reality is that science doesn't back this up. Multiple studies have shown that running barefoot increases the chances of an injury. Yes, our ancestors ran barefoot to hunt, but our ancestors also died of infected wounds and did not have a written language. The point being that just because something is natural doesn't mean it is good as well. Proper running shoes provide your feet with cushioning and allow you to run farther than you normally would be able to. There are many other problems with running barefoot aside from injury. If the treadmill is used by multiple people, then you risk getting your feet infected by running on the treadmill belt, which probably has a lot of sweat on it. Treadmill safety tips 10. Store the treadmill properly. You should keep things safe even when the treadmill is off. The first important thing you need to focus on is placement. Try to place the treadmill in a place where children aren't liable to play with it too much. Most people have a few rooms they keep the young ones out of if they are unsupervised. You should place the treadmill in such a room. As long as you are there, supervise them, it is okay. It is also important to ensure that you store the treadmill properly. Keep it away from any type of strength wall that releases water. The last thing you want is some water to get inside the treadmill and cause damage or short-circuit the tech in the treadmill. If your treadmill folds up, to make sure that you fold it up when you are done with it. More importantly, make sure that the area where the treadmill folds down is kept clear. The last thing you want is a kid or pet to get hit in the head by a treadmill opening up because they were tinkering with it. Treadmill injuries are rare, but they do happen. As long as you use common sense and the treadmill safety tips given above, you will be able to use a treadmill safely. Treadmill safety tips 10. Store the treadmill properly. You should keep things safe even when the treadmill is off. The first important thing you need to focus on is placement. Try to place the treadmill in a place where children aren't liable to play with it too much. Most people have a few rooms they keep the young ones out of if they are unsupervised. You should place the treadmill in such a room. As long as you are there, supervise them, it is okay. It is also important to ensure that you store the treadmill properly. Keep it away from any type of strength wall that releases water. The last thing you want is some water to get inside the treadmill and cause damage or short-circuit the tech in the treadmill. If your treadmill folds up, to make sure that you fold it up when you are done with it. More importantly, make sure that the area where the treadmill folds down is kept clear. The last thing you want is a kid or pet to get hit in the head by a treadmill opening up because they were tinkering with it. Treadmill injuries are rare, but they do happen. As long as you use common sense and the treadmill safety tips given above, you will be able to use a treadmill safely. It also helps to keep the first aid box somewhere close to the treadmill. You will probably never have to use it, but it is better to have a thing and not need it instead of needing a thing and not having it. If your treadmill starts making strange noises or starts running poorly, it probably requires a bit of maintenance. Check the manual of the treadmill. If it says that you can spray some WD-40 on it or something similar, then go for it. Otherwise, call someone who can perform maintenance on the machine. Stay safe and you will be able to get fit with the treadmill without worrying about injuries to you or your loved ones. And keep all treadmill safety tips. Advice for beginners who have some problems on a treadmill. For running on a treadmill, we have to get advice from doctors and fitness trainers who have some problems while running. So they have to consult with fitness trainers to know that how to run on a treadmill. Now go through this topic that for those who have fatty bodies and asthma problems. 1 Consultant advice: consult with your doctors or fitness trainers before going to run on a treadmill for those who have pain or injuries, like runner's knee pain, muscle strain, fractures, and others. Proper consultants make runners freely to run. But when we pain or injuries, we have to confirm with doctors or trainers to run or not. If it is allowed by doctors or fitness trainers to run on a treadmill, then follow their ways of running, so that you don't have injuries and wounds. 2. Fatty body should not try to think to run fast at the beginning. Fatty bodies have a big problem as compared to normal bodies. So they could not reduce their body fat on the treadmill at the beginning. But they also think that it takes time to reach to flatten body as compared to their fatty body. On the journey of the treadmill, obese people running slow in the beginning. But don't worry, we have to change your view through this. Increase your time limit. In beginning, it is harder to run your step fast. But if you have patience, so you do easily lose your fat. For 1 or 2 weeks you have to run extra according to daily time. Give extra time, at least 30 minutes extra to your daily routine. It easily increases your stamina. So from the next day, don't think about slow running. 3. Asthma patient has to keep the main points in mind while going to run on the treadmill. The main point for the asthma patient has to first consult with fitness trainers. Here is a general guideline on treadmill speeds. For most people, 2 to 4 miles per hour will be a walking speed, 4 to 5 miles per hour will be a very fast walk or jog, and anything over 5 miles per hour will be jogging or running. So asthma patients can take categories under 2 to 4 miles per hour walking speed. Better to consult first with doctors or fitness trainers. Do you know what are the best treadmill features? When do people ask what are the features that treadmills provide? Yes, there are so many different features that the treadmill provides. I list some important treadmill safety tips. Key features. The treadmill includes a super efficient speed setting that is adjustable according to their need in the form of LCD. One of the most important features of some treadmill has transferred their exercise data from their fitness center to their smart device. If you want to transfer the machine from one place to another without making less effort. Yes, treadmill is full of flexibility and adjustment settings with less human effort. This running machine is full of user-friendly, which humans can transfer according to their needs. Some treadmill companies develop treadmills according to their personal need, which can customization, Bluetooth adjustment, music adjustment, holding adjustment, etc. Yeah, I know some of my friends have health issues or joint pain problems. So gentlemen, doesn't worry, many treadmills providing companies have cushion flex whisper deck which reduces joint impact by 40%. Is this amazing? Look at some benefits of that treadmill provide. 1. It helps us to develop the shape of the body by doing on regular basics. 2. They also increase the stamina power by 100% if you do regular running on a treadmill. We know that running is the king of stamina. 3. This also enhances the running speed of yours by doing such stuff. 4. On doing regular basic, it helps you to the developed good connection of your body with legs. 5. It decreases the stress of our body because it refreshes your mind and makes them feel easy. 6. Improved leg flexibility when you try to travel long distances by just a simple walk. Joint flexibility is very important in your old age. Try to get benefits as much as you can from the treadmill. Also, keep treadmill safety tips. Running regularly decreases the risk of limited flexibility and mobility.